Hi, I'm Rai, and today's hot take for Wuthering Waves is that Kuro failed Yangyang. Ooh, hold on. Before y'all start yelling at me, let me set the stage. Let me set the scene. Friday night, 8 p.m., hanging out with the girlies. Pretend you're a girly, and if you're not a girly, you're an honorary girly tonight. You're hanging out with your friends, and friend one goes, yeah, I'm playing Wuthering Waves. I want to go meet up with my husbando, Qiuyuan, up there in the Norfall Barrens. And you say, sick. That's awesome. You hit all the cutscenes leading up to that point, and one of the cutscenes, you're talking to the Deserok Highland soldiers, trying to get a feel of what's going on, right? While you're doing so, you got friend two who's just ranting about Yangyang. And she's been kind of mean about it. She's like, yeah, what was Yangyang's presence in the story? What did she do? What was so memorable? Like, you could replace her with a lamp and the story wouldn't change. Friend three goes, ooh, what are you saying? And I say, or oops, call myself out there. Friend two says, you could replace Yangyang with anything. It doesn't matter. It could be another cute girl. It could be a plushie. It could be something that could talk and that can move. But would the story change? Probably not. Probably not. So friend one, who's playing the game, goes, dang, you're really mean, friend two, over this chick who's probably just a perfectly fine girl. Friend two goes, yeah, they are a perfectly fine girl. But do you even know who she is? Do you recognize her? Do you even feel anything for her? And friend one, who's playing the game, says, well, when I meet her, then I will 100% love on her because you absolutely hate her. And friend two stays silent on the call for at least 3 full seconds before she goes, friend one, you've already met her. Friend one goes, what? Where? When? And then you hear friend two cackle so loudly, so deeply, and says, it's the girl that's right next to you. Friend one goes, where? Which one? There's multiple girls here. And I say, it's the girl with the blue beret. You could easily say that perhaps she was not paying attention as deeply as she could have. Sure. But you would think with a character that has its own unique features would stand out. But she didn't even realize she was there. Because guess what? She could have been a prop and it wouldn't have mattered. The story wouldn't have changed. Now, I am the one who's expressing all of my dissatisfaction about who she is. Because she has no impact as far as her story goes. She's there. She's cute. She's sometimes saying a line. But I felt that majority of the time that she was there, she could be replaced by a lamp and the story wouldn't change. So this is where this whole entire thing of being replaced by a lamp. It's called, I don't know if it's an actual thing, I'll be honest. I heard it more on K-dramas. When people are discussing K-dramas, it's called the lamp test. You take a character, say the main character, and if you replace that main character with a lamp and the story doesn't change, they failed the lamp test. They're positive, actually, for the lamp test, because that means you could replace that character with a lamp and the story won't change. So, I was just constantly spouting that Yangyang's role of the story is so minimal, and she's sort of forgettable. Oh, okay, hold on, before you yell at me some more. Exhibit number 2, have another friend. And it's another night where I'm ranting about Yangyang. And I swear, I rant about her because I love her. Okay, maybe I don't love her. That's a little too strong a word. I would like for her character to be somebody that I felt some sort of attachment to, like she was supposed to. I don't feel that way though. And that's why I'm ranting about it. So I start talking about Yangyang and I mention how Yangyang is so important that she writes us letters every month. And my pink cat friend says, when does she write us letters? I don't remember letters from Yangyang. And I go, oh, brother, take a look at your inbox, your emails. Who's writing you those letters for your surveys? She opens up the latest survey, finds out that it's from Yangyang, and goes, oh, good lord. I never noticed that it was from Yangyang. She did not realize that Yangyang was writing us these letters until I pointed it out. Are we following? Are we following my concerns now? Like, yeah, these are two of my friends, but then it kind of makes me wonder, how attached are people to Yangyang? And if you are, why? What did she do? What did she manage to do in the story that made you so attached to her? Without Qixia and Baija in the picture, by the way. Let's cut them out. What did Yangyang do to make her the favorite, the special girl, the only girl? She's a pick-me! Yangyang has been a character since the start of the game. She has been around since we first woke up in Solaris 3. And, you know, you would think that she would have maintained this presence because she's been there since the start, and she sends us letters every month or every other month for these surveys, but her impact in the story has been like nothing. And before you crucify me for saying this stuff, I genuinely think I sound like the biggest hater for Yangyang, and I'm not meaning to. I fully think she deserves something, especially being the face of the game. So, those are just two examples of people who are close to me who actually did try the game. But I feel that I am onto something here because she really is supposed to be this iconic character. Here's another example that I'm not entirely sure if it was a true promotional or something that actually happened, but the idea is in there, right? There was a promotional banner that I saw floating around on Twitter one day. And on the right side, it had Aether and Lumine from Genshin. And they're iconic. They're noticeable. They're obviously characters that people can recognize from the get-go. And then on the left, you had somebody who was supposed to represent Wuthering Waves. And majority of people who are commenting were just like, who's that? Or is that female Rover? No, it was somebody that they didn't recognize, which was Yangyang. And the reason why they didn't recognize her is because she was wearing a different outfit in that one too. But then it just goes to show, like, for me, I recognized her because it's the feathers in her hair, which I think is like the most iconic part of her design. Really cool. It is a mutation from the Forte, from the resonance that she has, but it is noticeable. It is something that made her stand out as a character, which is good. But people did not recognize her from first glimpse of that banner. They were able to recognize Aether and Lumine because they've seen them around for a long time, and their designs stand out. They are characters that we see time and time again because they're constantly on screen. But for Yangyang's case, being the representative of Wuthering Waves, they didn't recognize her. And it was the same friend who didn't even realize that she was with Yangyang the entire time. She goes, oh, well, I always thought it was Rover on the icon of the game. And I said, no, that's Yangyang. And as of right now, before 3.5 drops, where she gets her, I guess, upgrade, I don't even think she was deserving to be the icon of the game. Like, let's review. What is the most memorable parts of Yangyang in the actual story? Now, before I interrupt you, I'm going to interrupt you for a bit. I understand that 1.x wasn't the strongest part of the story. Compared to what we're having now, it is nowhere near as good of a presentation as we know Kuro can do now. But with 1.x, it is important to play because it establishes so many parts of the foundation of the world. And unfortunately, a lot of people skipped it. A lot of people skipped it for 2.0, for 3.x, and I don't blame them because those are really good parts of the game. But 1.x is still necessary. And even though it takes from typical gacha presentations, I mean, let's just be real. What we were familiar with was Genshin, even though I never played Genshin, but I watched people play. And the presentation there was something that people were used to, so I'm assuming that Kuro just kind of went that route at the start because people were familiar with it. That type of presentation, the way that people were talking, but it wasn't as engaging. And in my head, I think the reason why I probably wasn't engaged initially is because I was playing it on a tablet. It wouldn't work on my computer, and that sucked. But I loved the combat. I loved just how to explore the world. And even though it was still kind of clunky on my tablet, it was still playable. And then I finally figured out how to play it on my computer, and that was lovely. After 2-3 months in, I was dedicated, guys. So with that said, I feel like the most memorable part of Yangyang, where she actually had some sort of agency, was when they were going up against before they meet up with Dreamless. They were going up to the big ol' Therodian body floating thing. I already forgot what to call it. And they had to split off. So Rover and Qiuyuan move on forward because Yangyang makes the incentive, the choice, the independent choice of herself to stand back and hold the final defense. So that way, Rover and Qiuyuan can go and fight the big bad. And that was the one part where I went, oh shoot, Yangyang, that was sick. That was cool of you to do. How awesome. And that's it. That's it. That's all she had going for her. Let me be, do you understand? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she's that important. And how was I supposed to care for her? Like, I feel like she was robbed. She was robbed. And that's why I say Kuro failed her, because how is she having all this importance as far as writing us letters every month, as far as being the icon of the game without being memorable or recognizable as a character? And when she has really like zero presence in the story, like everything that she's associated with as far as making her the title character is always with somebody else. There's always somebody else with her. And that kind of is what takes away from her being able to stand out. So, like for example, sure, she is the girl who we wake up to, who is nursing us back to health. But guess who else is there? Chisha. When we're going around Huang or Jinzhou, who else is there? Chisha and Baija. Like, and when we're trying to save them from Crownless, it is Crownless, right? Yeah, Crownless. Who else is there? The girlies. It's always Yangyang and the girlies. It's never just Yangyang. And I'm not saying that she needs to be alone. I guess the one other point too that we got is Yangyang getting kidnapped by Scar. But I was paying attention more to Scar. Let's be real. Scar was the cooler point of the story at that moment. And Yangyang was just there to be the conduit to, you know, for us to engage with Scar. So again, it's not really any point where even when she was taken away from me, I didn't feel any like, oh no, she's got kidnapped. I should be so concerned. No, I did not feel that way. I did not feel any way about her. She just felt like a device. It's like if Scar took my favorite lamp, then it's a lamp. So why do people like Yangyang? Like, sure, she's cute, she's loyal, she's kind, she's capable. Yeah, we learned a lot about that through some presentations, but I'm like, how am I don't feel attached to her. And hopefully by 3.5, whenever she comes back again, which she direly needed, I hope that this part of the story where she's featured again can change my mind. I want to care about her. I want her to feel like she's deserving of being on the icon, you know? I want people to recognize her and be like, oh, Wuthering Waves, and that's Yangyang right there, not just a 4-star character that we just sort of blow off because one, majority of people didn't play 1.x. Two, it's a 4-star character, and too many people are building their 5-star characters that they're getting instead from the limited banners. Three, nobody reads Yangyang's Yearn letters. They just go straight for the survey because that's the more exciting part. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I do read them. I just don't think she's deserving of getting letters like this. I don't know why she feels this important. It's like getting love letters from a girl who you don't like. Like, that's how it feels to me. And I want to like her. Usually I'd be flattered. But you know who I'd feel better about receiving letters from? Shorekeeper. Shorekeeper, Amith, even, I don't know, Alto, or Encore. If I got letters from them, Camellia, then I'd be like, oh, wow, actually it's just the whole entire Black Shores cast. Give me letters from the Black Shores cast. And I would feel so much better about it. So, yes, my hope is that with 3.5 coming soon, she needs this. She needs that, okay? She needs that for her to potentially actually have like some sort of presence in the story. And yeah, I guess we could chalk it up to 1.x being like, okay, now, I'm sure a majority of people who've been playing Wuthering Waves for a while already know this, but we already know that the whole entire 1.x patch had a whole rewrite where they had to wipe off everything else. And to be honest, that is what robbed Yangyang's character. That is exactly what took away from Yangyang's presence in the story, because she was written to be the girl who believed in us when everybody else didn't. And then with the rewrite, that got taken away because then it became Yangyang and the girls who believed in us. And then Yangyang and Jinshi and Changli who believed in us. Like, it's her presence was supposed to be the one who stuck with us from the very start. But then everybody stuck with us from the very start. So then it took away from any sort of like specialized interest of her. So what did she do to deserve to be here? To be this title character, to be the one that we care about the most. And if you like Yangyang, that's awesome. I like Yangyang, but I think her importance of the story is like nothing. My emotional capacity or my emotional attachment to her is nothing. And I don't know why she's the face of the game. And I'm hoping that with the new patch that's coming out, I hope that changes my mind. But then she doesn't look like that anymore. So it makes it even harder for it to be a recognizable brand, a recognizable iconic character, because her appearance changed. She doesn't have the beret anymore that stands her apart. Like, how am I supposed to tell the friend who didn't even recognize that she was with Yangyang the entire time and tell her, oh yeah, it's the girl with the blue beret? Well, she ain't wearing that beret anymore. So what else? I mean, the feathers in the hair, sure. I don't know. Do you guys see what I'm what I'm trying to say here? Like, she needs this. This is definitely what she needs. And for Kuro to redeem her as a character, to make her something iconic, to actually make her somebody that we are to care about, they really need to nail this story. And I'll be real with you, as much as Yangyang writes us all these letters, like, it's sweet that she has this cute little crush on her, but I don't like her that way. I don't see her that way. People can like her, yeah, but as far as the emotional attachment that Rover's supposed to have with her, I didn't see that. It didn't feel any different compared to anybody else that he met. Let's just say along the 1.x cast. So my actual hope for this part of her story that we're going to see in 3.5 is that she, one, has the agency to do her actions, her choices for her own story, not related to to Rover. Rover can be a part of it. She can she needs that part, like the whole entire like the traveling and 1.x. I didn't really feel that way in comparison to like later on. Let's just say take Yuno's quest, for example. Holding hands, walking around her entire domain, actually felt like we were traveling alongside her. Denya's quest, where we go on a little date and we actually see her walking around with us throughout the entirety of Star Torch Academy. That's where it actually felt like we were traveling around. And I feel like 1.x, the written part where Rover and Yangyang are going up to the Desolrock Highlands, what would benefit Yangyang to feel like she was actually traveling with us at the time is if she was actually in the overworld walking along with us and talking to people. Like, yeah, she was talking to people with us in cutscenes, but like for her to be present in the overworld, that would actually give us more of a feeling that she was traveling with us the entire time. But in my memory from 2 years ago when I was playing the game, she just kind of appeared when she needed to and disappeared when she didn't matter. And unfortunately, she disappeared way too much from the screen, from my memory, because I'm definitely one of those that is like, if I don't see it, I don't remember it. So, because yes, I'm supposed to follow cutscene by cutscene, but because I didn't really have that feeling that she was traveling with us, I again didn't feel that she was there. Her presence was like nothing. You could take her out of all those cutscenes, and the story wouldn't change. It wouldn't change, and that needs to change with this new patch that's coming out. All right. Yeah. So that's my hot take. That Kuro did fail Yangyang. I fully believe that, but I also believe that they can make her a character who will be memorable, will be loved, will be likable, and will establish a kind of attachment that we did not get to have with her before. And I wouldn't mind that. I think that's the best thing for her character. But the other thing that I genuinely want, me specifically, I want her story to be revolving around her and her sister, not me and her. I don't care if her crush on us is massive. I don't care for it. I don't care for it. And I feel that's the reason why Amit's story stood out as much as it did. Why Denya's story is standing out as much as it did, because it wasn't just about their relationship with Rover. It was, well, with Amit, we're family. And I feel like those family stories are way more impactful, way more relatable to more people in comparison to love stories that can happen again and again and again. Like, I can only fall in love with so many women, okay? You can fall in love with as many women as you want, but still, it's like I would rather have a story that is centered around her and her sister and us trying to help bridge that gap between them. Whatever that may be. I don't know. Whatever Kuro decides to write, I'm sure I'll still be happy with it. But there has to be more to Yangyang than her just having a massive crush on us and writing love letters to us every week. Yeah? Don't you agree? Yeah, okay. Well, that's it from me. That is my hot take on Wuthering Waves, and I have hopes that the new patch will prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I would love to see it. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.